Alright, well, Bearded Axe is a game that I got through the Steam Curator for the Roguelike group on Steam that I basically am a group officer for. I want to note that I played this game for an hour, so I have a little bit of understanding about how this game sort of works, even though, like, I usually do, like, sort of like a first impressions of a video for these sort of things, but basically this is a game that really requires that you, like, understand how to play it to really show it off, so I had to basically play it for an hour, basically to, like, just learn the basic details of how to play it, so let's just get into it. I'll basically show off what it's all about. Now, first things first, we'll go like here. Now, before I do anything, I'll note that the keyboard layout for this game is kind of interesting. You'll note that up here we basically have, like, the WASD keys for, like, moving around. And then you have down here, like, space for swinging your weapon, fire is basically left shift, yes for enter, no is backspace. And these are actually I'm using on, like, the main screen as you do stuff, by the way, these keys down here. Drink is B, ball and all the stuff is over here. Now, this is, like, very complicated, all these buttons, and you're gonna, like, see a little bit about it and as I, like, go along in here. So keep in mind there's all these buttons basically do stuff, because they play a good part about what's gonna happen in this game. Okay, let's start a new game. By signing the oaths of the lost relics, you pledge yourself to recover all the artifacts of your clan. Your clan name being DFuxa. Now, there is a normal mode, which basically has this, like, you don't die immediately if, like, you lose your life. But I want to note that this is probably a game that is probably better, like, done for, like, an Iron Dwarf type of mode type of thing, where, like, if you permanently die, if, like, you die. But I'll note that this is, like, here's the thing about this game. It's kind of like a game that's, like, really brutally difficult in ways where, like, you probably will get killed quite a bit. So, Iron Dwarf basically, as I said, is not recommended for new players, and that's basically because, like, it's so easy to die in this game, but whatever, we're just going to go into Iron Dwarf mode anyways, because, I am the roguelike player. And here's the king speaking. Well, I've drank it. Nothing for it now. It was time. I'm old, aren't I? Aye. It was time. I feel it. I feel it in my feet, quicker than I expected. How many vie for this old throne? 4, as of the last moot. You were there. Aye. The old brew is strong. I dare say it's making me a bit sentimental. 24 years, and still twice as stout as any brew today. Best to do away with sentimental, before all of this turns to stone. It will be some weeks, Lord. Some weeks. These would be kings, should busy themselves then. They set out, this hour, my lord. And then, of course, the dwarves set out. You'll all do well to keep clear of my path. At what consequence, pray tell? The king's son is a head taller and measures stronger than you or I. Since when did height make the measure of a dwarf? You'll find my measure, hammer, when I'm fulfilled all oaths before you. Fulfill 1. Well spoken, but it's only how well done, princeling. I hear old Beard is taking the oaths as well. Indeed, though not as old as he looks, I'd not get in his way without reason. Stand in my way, and you'll all swear oaths of mercy. Aye, prince. I'll not impede you. I expect the same in return. It's oaths taken and oaths done that count. Mayhap I'll take an oath to shorten the prince by a head. Ha! Beards. And then here we are. We are Old Dwarf. So, this is like, kind of an interesting game in that basically you're playing as like the Old Dwarf. And I'll note that there's like a tutorial for this book here, and you want to note, by the way, in this game is that the tutorial is really, really important to read in this game because basically for an hour I like, sort of clumsied around basically doing stuff because it's very like, complicated, a lot of stuff you can basically do in this game, so let's just get into it. So, Clan DFuxa of Half Axe Hold. This is like my clan, and like, basically this is like a tutorial book is what it's all about. So, first things first, let's go like just look at the Manual of Oaths here, so you can basically get an idea of what's going on. I'll talk to boss in a bit, but anyways. So, basically, the swearing and completion of oaths. The oaths of the lost relics. When the king of the hold drinks the stone beer, those beards that think themselves worthy of succession sign the oaths of the lost relics. They are sworn to recover all objects lost to the world above by their clan ancestors. So yeah, basically, like, you get the idea here. We're basically, like, swearing these oaths in order to try and, like, prove our worth as, like, the next king. That's what we're basically up to right now. While sworn to an oath of lost relics, the beard owns nothing but his father's axe. Before leaving the hold, he must swear an oath what he intends to bring back, be it powder, shot, beer, or relics he must attain. Alright, so basically here's something I know about this game. Half done is shamefully done. If a beard swears an oath to bring back 3 charges of black powder and returns with 29, it is shameful. He will surrender half of the black powder, and furthermore surrender half of all the stocks that he carries. At least 1 honor will be lost. Alright, so let's enter the tutorial here. And these tutorials basically like, tell you about basically how to play the game. So, oaths are taken from the quest map. So this is the quest map. Travel to the Hobgoblin Forest and press enter. So basically our dwarf is the guy you're down there. We go up here to like the Hobgoblin Forest. You press enter. And to begin the quest, you must swear oaths to how much of each resource you will return with. You cannot be carrying any of the sworn resource when you begin the quest. You are currently carrying a beer, and you will need to store it before starting the Hobgoblin Forest quest. So basically, before you can even start the quest, you have to make sure you don't have any of the stuff you're basically going to be bringing back. So, stolen beer is basically 0. I have like right now 8, so I have to basically get rid of that 8 beer before I can like continue. So, take it off, and I can return to the quest screen. Now I can increase the amount of beer you swear you basically return. So basically, I can go like increase it up a little bit here, and then basically once I'm done, I can go down here and pitch the thing, and then we're ready to go. And that's basically how you start a quest. Now, something else to know about this game, none more than promised. If a beard swears an oath to bring back 3 charges of black powder and returns with 35, he will surrender the 5 above his oath to the hold. An oath is an oath, and abundance is as shameful as scarcity. So, basically, if you haven't really got any idea of what this game's all about, it basically builds like on the idea of like Dwarven honor, and basically it can be kind of silly sometimes. So, none more than like, what they basically swear to bring back, none less. The exact amount. And then like, there's also something about like trading. Basically, if you try and trade during like, when you're basically doing like an oath, basically you can't like, basically you lose honor when you trade. So you don't want to really do a lot of trading either. And there's actually like, a menu basically tell you a little about trade. So you can trade your currently carry resources for others in the barter hall. Move all of your poison power from your stock to your trade basically. So we'll basically take off our poison stock there. A 6,000 points is worth like 140% on the base market value. So basically I can go up and like get like some black power as a result. Now it tells you here, but basically you can't carry any more than 60 like of the resource. So there's basically maximum amounts of stuff you can carry. And I'll note by the way down here, if you look at the box, basically it says I have like 8 to 6, so we don't have an equal trade. It's basically telling me like, go here, get like one more like fire powder, and then boom. Now we basically have like an equal trade. We're done. Now there is more to like learn in this game, and probably like the most important thing will probably be like the amount of arms and stuff like that. Basically, there's like different types of combat in this game where you got like axe combat and firelock combat. So I just want to go into Firelock combat here a little bit. So the Firelock is every good axe can be an excellent answer to distant threats. Low power first, shot above. A large charge of power will beat the barrel, and time must pass before another can be loaded. So basically, you can use a Firelock to like damage stuff from afar. So we got gunpowder growers basically is what they're all about. Now, basically something about like Firelocks here. It's kind of like interesting because like unlike other games which like basically have like fire and forget type of thing, you actually have to sort of plan out what you're basically going to do here. So we have to basically like load in a powder, then you have to like load in a shot, and then like you can view what's in the barrel, like what's you're going to be fired, and then you can present yourself to fire, and then like you fire. So basically it's like a complicated procedure doing like the Firelock thing, and that's like something that sets this game apart from like other games. Basically, it's like more complex in its actions. A stronger power charge will deliver more damage. Load to 2 charges, basically. So we'll load 2 charges, and I'll load 1 missile because only 1 missile can be loaded at a time. If I look at the thing there, you'll see I got 2 charges of like powder in there, so it'll be twice as powerful. Now, something else by the way, if I basically have like my Firelock basically presented. If I press the backspace while like holding like left shift, I'll basically not like fire. And then if I go to like 4 here and I press backspace, I get rid of what's in there. All right, so there's basically like a lot to basically learn this game, but let's just like backtrack from here and actually try and show you the gameplay a little bit. And by the way, if you want to, you can go talk to people like your father here. The beards of our clan run white long before the rest. A mark of distinction, I've always said. Alright, so let's just get to it. I'll basically show off the quest. So here's the Oath Hall, or that's basically the Oath Hall over there. Over there is like Old Beard's room. There's the King's Meat Hall, the Barter Hall. Over here, you'll basically see your fellow beards. So there's like the Prince. My oaths are many, my strength greater. The days are early, old beard. Plenty of time to fulfill those oaths. The king's son does well for his name, so they say. Now, I'll note that these guys basically sort of like are on here, like, you can see like a time type of thing here. I'm not sure if like there's like, time element to this game or like how it basically works, but essentially you've got like, the 3 faces of those like, competitors basically, competing against you in this game, I think. On the screen, by the way, this is like, your inventory, so you can see what you basically have. So the axe can hold 4 charges of powder and it has an average size melee strike. So basically we've got an axe basically to fire with, and we'll basically show that off when we get to it. Let's take our first oath and basically I'll start like, showing off the game here a little bit. So we'll go to the Hobgoblin Forest. We'll basically go up to bring some beer. I am holding beer here, so we have to basically like, take it off. So we'll take some off. We're gonna go get some stolen beer. Or die trying. Quote, we're probably gonna die trying. Alright, so here's the Hobgoblin Forest. On this map here, we're basically gonna have like a turn-based type of affair, so whenever like, I move, like every time I used to move 1. In the forest here, there's some like beer for us to pick up, so we're gonna pick it up. And if like you enter combat, you'll basically have to fight stuff, so we'll have to fight this stuff here. Now, I really don't care much for this combat, but basically the idea is like, you have to like, be careful like, playing your moves. And he's like, guys, slow you down, these spires. And if these spires get really too close to you, they'll actually hit stun you. You have to be very careful of it. And it's really bad to get hit by these guys because you can't really run from them. Alright, well anyways, basically got ourselves in our beer there. Now, note by if you're on the roads here, the spires don't really come for you, so the roads are sort of like safe for you. Whoa! Yeah, you can have like bad spawns like this. And the webs basically slow you down, so you want to basically avoid. And you want to avoid being hit by these guys too. I think I'm dead because I think I've run into a spot where I can't get out of. Basically, these guys will like hit lock you and then you can't do anything if they get too close, so they're dangerous. And I died. Ugh. Alright, I'll have to basically retry that to you sort of like show it off. But basically the idea is like, you know, those spires are like dangerous, like, you know, and that's something I don't know about this game. It's very, very difficult. And I actually found like, you know, I was dying a lot because of the simple fact that I didn't really understand what the heck I was basically doing, but also the fact that the enemies are also very difficult as well. And if I want to, I can skip this stuff. We don't have to basically read it again. We'll basically go back here to the Hobgoblin Forest. And you always start with like 10 ale, basically is what the idea is, so that's what we start off with. We'll try and bring back our 15 beer. Now, no boy, if you look at the top right, it says honor value, so basically if you get like, you know, 15 beer, you'll get like an honor value. And in this game, honor is basically everything for you. If you lose all your honor, essentially you lose the game. So if you die like in an Iron Dwarf mode, obviously you lose the game, but you also lose the game if you don't have honor. So you actually have to sort of like, you know, actually win a game with like honor to actually win. And this time we're gonna try and avoid like, you know, the spires by like staying on the roads. These guys like they can't come to you if like you're on the road here, so that's why we have to sort of be on it. Now here's like a hobgoblin group. These guys basically will come out to try and kill me. Now, I'm using like a charge attack basically to do stuff. You don't have to use a charge attack, there's also other stuff you can do. We'll get that. Now, I'll note that these guys basically are carrying like beer. So, killing hobgoblins is a good way to get some beer. Now, here's like a river. There's basically some of these terrain effects basically in this game where you'll find like if you're on like, you know, these like rivers, like, you know, and yeah, I feel like you go down the river like this, it's obviously bad. That's actually supposed to kill me right there, but oh, this game is actually in beta, so there will be errors like this. Alright, well anyways, let's have to window out, I guess, and we'll basically have to close down the client. Because that happens. Bad things happen. So that's basically like, you know, sort of like a examination of like the old Hobgoblin Forest. Let's actually go to like the old mines because I can actually show off like, you know, another area and like, you know, a little bit of different stuff basically going for it. Now here we're basically going to recover black powder, so we'll basically try and recover Fury black powder and Fury shot. Is what we're going to try and do here. Now in this place, basically there's going to be like, you know, undead to fight. These are basically undead dwarves. And some of these enemies will knock you over as they're like, you know, prerogative. Pick that up. That green thing there is a terrain effect, and here's another terrain effect right here. Basically, I've got to, like, you know, rush down here without dying. Oh! And yeah, there's sometimes like issues like that where you like fall for the ground. Now, I think you're supposed to like die when it basically happens, but whatever. Essentially, I fell down to a crevice there, and like, you know, I failed basically as a result. I really don't think much of that, like, you know, falling rocks type of thing, but whatever. Let's go back to try and show it off a little bit more. And I know, by the way, you can't like have like multiple hits like with your weapons, so it's basically like a one type of hit type of thing. I really don't think much of like that. Basically, when you get hit, you get like hit lock. So it's one of the things I think it's a little bit makes this game a little bit too difficult. Is the fact that you got a hit lock type of like you know thing in here, where you can't do anything if you get hit locked. I also don't think much of the fact that, you know, you don't have like, you know, like basically this is a game like you've got like kind of like, you know, directions for like attacking and stuff. I think it could have been a lot better if they made it so like this game require like, you know, the fact that like you could have like, you know, what can I say about it? It could have been a lot better if they had it so like you had like, you know, diagonal movement and stuff like that happening. Okay, let's fight this guy. Now this is sort of showed off. Let's just like, you know, I don't have any black powder, so we have to wait for that, I guess. There we go. Now I can start firing my gun, and I can show off like, you know, what that's all about. Basically, we'll load up the barrel, load up the thing, got that in there. Present. And that's basically like, you know, how your weapon sort of like works. You can like fire at things. We're doing a little bit better this time. If you actually have your weapon charged, you can actually run around. I don't really think much of that, but you know, basically it's basically you charge when you like, you know, have your weapon, you know, ready to like to power it up. Okay, you can send here a little bit. Pick that stuff up. There's a different type of enemy. It's basically leaving a trail of slime. As you can see, the other enemies go a little faster when they have the slime on them. And I died. Well, basically you get the sort of general idea of basically how the game sort of works. Anyhow, it's basically a game that is very difficult, obviously. And it's supposed to be intended to be that sort of difficult, I guess. I'm not sure I would recommend the game itself because it is kind of difficult, and the controls I find like are a little bit like how can I put this? They're not really like forgiving, the controls. Basically, if you make a mistake, like you're gonna like pay for it dearly. And sometimes like the mistakes in this game, it's like it feels like frustrating sometimes. Like with the spires there, like they spawn like right on top of me there, and it was like really difficult to avoid them because like the terrain's really bad and all that. But it is what it is, and there's Beer and Axe. Hope you guys enjoyed the little video for it, and take care.